Welcome aboard, Captain.
So, what's going on, guys? In today's video, I'll be showing you some new pretty cool features that have been added to Subnautica's experimental mode in the last few days. So I'm going to get right into it, and the first one I want to talk to you about is there is a new game mode now, and that is creative mode. Which basically speaks for itself, but for those of you who are not sure, it's a mode where you basically have complete freedom. There is no oxygen bar, there's no health bar, no food or water bar. You can build anything that is currently available to build without using any resources, and you can build it as much as you like, basically. So that's pretty cool. If you just want to come on Subnautica and have a bit of a mess around, or just build to your heart's content, you can come on to creative mode and do whatever you want, basically. So that's pretty cool. It's like a limitless game mode, so pretty awesome. Now you may be wondering what this is over in the corner here, and this is probably one of the main updates that's been added recently, and this is the Seamoth upgrade terminal. So you can, well, upgrade your Seamoth. So the first thing is this little mini fabricator on the left here. You can basically upgrade your Seamoth using this. They've actually added some new ones as well, which I didn't think these were going to be here, but there we go. So the first one is the Seamoth depth module. So this allows you to go to greater depths, much like you can in the Cyclops. There's a Seamoth power module, which increases the Seamoth's power efficiency, so you won't go through power as quickly as you would without one of those. There's the Seamoth solar charging module. Battery recharges in the sun. So that must mean if you're within a certain range from the surface of the water, that your Seamoth battery, the power cell, battery rather, that's not the power cell, the battery will charge in sunlight, so that's pretty cool. You don't have to worry about running out of power. If you have one of these modules attached to your Seamoth, you know that if it dies, then you leave it in the sun for a little bit and it's going to come back to life. So that's quite a handy little module to have there. And now this one, there's a Seamoth storage upgrade, which adds additional storage container to your Seamoth up to 4. So I'm not quite sure exactly what that does yet. Like, I'm not sure if it means on this upgrade panel here, or whether it's a separate storage, but I'm going to test all these now, so you guys can see. But this is where you're going to actually put the upgrades. It kind of looks a bit blocky right now, but I can imagine in future updates that's going to look a little bit smoother. It might be blended into the left wing here of the Seamoth. Might just be like a little flap or something where you slide the modules in. And also there is, I don't know if you can see there's the name now on the side of the Seamoth, which you can change on that terminal over there, and I'll go and show you that now. So I called my Seamoth the Ocean Fly. Seamoth Ocean Fly, you get it? But when you're actually docking your Seamoth, it'll tell you that it's docked and what its current charge level is. So instead of having to go up to the Seamoth and manually check it, you can see exactly what the status of your Seamoth is on the wall there. So if we come over here now, you can see this is where you're going to rename your Seamoth, and obviously you can change the colour. So I'm going to make it match my Cyclops and make it nice and dark. So it's pretty cool. You can change to all kind of colours. I'll show you so you get an idea of what it looks like. So if I go there, you can see nice and green. Does it change the interior as well? Let's have a look. It looks like it's changed. Okay, so I think it will, because it kind of looks cool when it's like that. I hope it stays like that, but obviously the animation, the textures sort of thing when you're inside haven't been rendered properly yet, but that's cool nonetheless. I'm hoping that happens. It's nice to change the interior of the Cyclops as well. Let's just sort of see what that looks like in other colours. There's a red one there. I'm actually going to leave it red. That looks pretty cool. Yeah. So, what was I going to do? I was going to test the modules tonight. So if I build one of each, I can test all of these. Oops, I didn't mean to build that one twice. Okay. So, if I go over to this. So depth module, obviously that's going to just, like the Cyclops, increases the depth. If you attach 4 of those, it's going to take your Seamoth to about 1,025 meters below the surface. So that is deep enough to go pretty much everywhere in the game, unless you go into ridiculous depths, which it's probably unlikely you're going to go there in your in your Seamoth. But maybe they'll add upgradable versions of these modules, so you could go, go down to like 3,000 meters or something, but you never know. So the power module, that's obvious what that does, so I'm not going to bother putting that on. I'm going to test the solar charging module, the storage. So, okay, so that is literally like a, oops, there I go. Back up here. So it is literally like a little storage box on the side of your Seamoth. So say if you're going around looking for loot and stuff, and you've already got a full inventory, it gives you the ability to carry extra stuff. So maybe, you know, say if I don't want to carry my welder around all the time, but the only time I'm going to use the welder is if I get a Cyclops. I keep calling it the Cyclops. If my Seamoth gets damaged, then I know I have a welder handy within my Seamoth, and you know, you could think of other things. You know, say if you well, a good way to use it would be to store all of these modules, right? So say if you're swimming around and you've only got one depth module and you reach the maximum depth that you can go with just that one module, you could be like, okay, jump out my Seamoth, open this up, and you could, you know, grab the extra depth modules and switch them out for whatever else you don't need in here. So that's pretty cool. It's making your Seamoth a lot more usable, gives you more reasons to use it. So I'm liking that. That's pretty cool. So I'm actually just going to go out and test this solar energy thingy. So if I just drain my Seamoth battery a little bit. See, I'm not sure if energy is going to deplete on this. It may or may not. Saying that though, I did attach the. What are you doing? I did attach that power upgrade, didn't I? So if I. No, I didn't. What am I talking about? I'm lying. Right, well, I'll be right back, and I'll see if I can drain some of this energy. Okay, so either that is an incomplete feature yet. They haven't re-enabled the Seamoth's energy levels to go down. So I'm assuming that once the upgrades and stuff have been implemented fully, that driving around your Seamoth, it'll drain your power, because it has started to do that in the Cyclops now, I've noticed, when on freedom mode it never used to do that. So that's pretty cool though. I'm liking that. So that is pretty much it, I think, for the Seamoth. I'll have to probably do check out the solar charging on a later episode, but nonetheless, that's going to be pretty cool once it's finished, and I'm glad that they've added that storage box as well. It's pretty damn cool. So I'm actually going to try and take a little screenshot right about here. There we go. Looks okay, I hope. So,
welcome aboard, Captain.
Thank you. So, whilst I was on testing creative mode on the journal, I don't think it's... Yes, it is here. I actually got a load of these blueprints. I spawned this one in, because I don't think it's in the game yet, the blueprint, the fragment rather, to create the blueprint. But I spawned that in, and put it through the fragment analyzer, and it came up with the exosuit there. So I went ahead and, because I haven't for a while, spawned the exosuit in, and would you look at that? There's the finished model of it. How cool does that look? Pretty damn awesome, right? So, like, it's definitely improved from that horrible blocky thing that was once the exosuit. It has a drill arm there, which it looks like you're going to be able to alter terrain and dig your way through walls and stuff using that. So that is awesome, and unfortunately, well, you can get inside of it, but you cannot actually pilot it, so they're still waiting to add that feature. But nonetheless, this is pretty cool, being inside the complete final version, or probably one of the final versions of the exosuit. So that is awesome. There's a bit of a weird thing going on with the glass there, though. Can I see that there? It's kind of like there's two layers to the glass. A few things going on there. Whoa! Bloody bomb sharks. Cut off. But anyway, that is awesome. So, the last thing that I sort of wanted to go through is base power. For me, at least, was very sort of off and didn't work properly. You can see on the top there now that it shows the base's maximum power, which mine currently is 1,700, and that is due to me adding a ton of these solar panels up here. And I haven't for a long time tested these, but they seem to be working a lot better now. So if I just do that for a sec and click onto here, this is working now. So I might, what I have to do is just build a second one, just for the sake of showing you guys. To build that anywhere on here. No, I'll have to do it on this side, I think. There we go. So this is, if you didn't know, the nuclear reactor. This, for me, seems to be the way to get the most power into your base, because it gives you a total of 500 per nuclear plant. So obviously it processes uranium, needs uranium and disinfected water, which will then begin the process. And you can see the counter going up there, and if I go back into my base now, you can see that the total base power has gone up to 2,700, and you can see that the counter is going up as well. So they seem to be working a lot better now. Same for this, they have all the sound effects along with them as well. So that's pretty cool, right? So overall, the bases and vehicles are coming along pretty damn cool. In the check-ins list that I sort of get most of my information from, or at least half of my information, when it comes to what's been added to the game, there's been a lot of work being added to, I've noticed, like with animals and stuff, which sounding quite promising. Like here and there on the check-ins lists, I'll see things to do with like the shocker animation or the sea treader or the crab squid and stuff, and it's exciting me to see, or at least know that there's all these new creatures being worked on, and I'm not sure if it's going to be the next big update with all the sea creatures, the new ones or not. They may add that at a later point, but it's going to be cool to see a whole bunch of new creatures. I hope they add a lot of them all at the same time, so that you know, when you start exploring the oceans, you'll come across a whole bunch of new stuff, and for me that'd be pretty cool anyway. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So I think that is everything for today, apart from my cool new base, if you haven't noticed. The way I built it though, it's only got 2 legs on the moon pool, but to be honest, that kind of is a nice feature because it leaves all this front bit open for your Seamoth to come in. So yeah, a long observatory going down that way when I just want to chill out and relax. Oh, one last thing. Also on the check-ins list, I did notice a little thing that said torpedo sounds and EMP sounds. So whether or not that is an upgrade for the Seamoth, we'll have to wait and see, but that sounds very promising to me. Can you imagine having torpedoes on the front of your Seamoth? That would be awesome. Totally awesome. Like you could actually take on a Reaper. That would be just grand. But anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I just thought I'd bring you a few new little updates, show you what's going on with the Seamoth and base power stuff, and obviously the Exosuit model. So anyway guys, until next time, take it easy.